What is going on, everybody? In this video, I will be sharing my entire strategy when it comes to betting on the WNBA. It will be a start to finish guide showing exactly what I do on a daily basis in order to win 65% of my bets in the W this season. Before getting into everything though, I do want to remind everybody to subscribe to the channel and drop a comment of what you want to see for my next strategy video, or comment any questions you might have when it comes to betting on the WNBA or betting in general. I also want to remind everybody to join the free Discord server. The link is located in the description below. That's where I post many of my free picks every day. We have a really good community, and I look forward to seeing you there and joining in on the fun. Now, there are two websites that I'm going to highlight in this video. One of them is RotoWire, which is a completely free website, and it shows the starting lineups and injuries for today. This is what it looks like. It shows all of the games, all of the teams, their starting lineups, and the potential injuries for today. The other website is what you see on the screen right here. It's called Outlier. Outlier is not a free website, but it is necessary for its time-saving capabilities when it comes to researching player props for all sports. Instead of manually scraping all of the box scores in games yourself, going into Google, going game by game, pulling all of the stats, putting them in a spreadsheet or something, Outlier does all of this work for you. I use it basically every single day. You'll see it highlighted in pretty much every YouTube video that I make. And if you want to sign up for a 7-day free trial to Outlier, that link is also located in the description below. So this is a full candid approach on how I do things on a daily basis. I start every day going into RotoWire and taking a look at the injury news. We can see here that Collier is ruled out for the Lynx today. That is a star player. She is a starter, so it does have a major impact on their rotation. We can see that the Wings and the Sparks also have a slew of injuries as well. A couple key players like Cameron Brink and Odyssey Sims being out for the Sparks. No one really major for the Wings right now. Carrington is a decent player, and she does have a decent role, so that might increase some opportunities for the guards. And then if we scroll down here, the Fever and the Storm do not have too many injuries that I need to worry about. So I really just focus in on looking to see if a star or a starter is hurt, like Collier here, like Brink, like Sims, like some of these other major players that take up a ton of usage every single game. So next, I'll go over to Outlier and set up my filters this way. So I filter my odds to be minus 130 to minus 115 because it will show me the standard props on Prize Picks and Underdog. Then I select my sports books. For me, it's Hard Rock, Prize Picks, Underdog, and Sleeper because these are the sports books that I use every single day. And then I'll sort by the hit rate of the last 10 games descending because I want to have the top ones at the top, so the top hit rates at the top. Now, this is where the manual process really starts. My process is I actually click through many of these player cards and try to find edges in any way possible. So I'll go through a couple of examples here. Sometimes on a larger slate, I'll filter it down to game by game, so I could just select a few games here. I could just start with the Sparks and the Sky since this is one of the top plays here. So let's take a look at this Kelsey Plum under 14.5 first half PRA. Now you can see this is only offered on Prize Picks. No other major sports books have the first half PRA. I think Underdog Fantasy normally has it too. They just post them later on in the day normally. But it's not always the case that the top play on the day is the top play on the hit rate. So you can't just blindly go in here, sort by last 10, and just bet all these top ones. It's just not going to work out for you. Same thing if you do it for the year hit rates. It's just not going to work out. Every situation is different for every single game. So we have to spend the time trying to figure out what the situation actually entails here. So I'll pull open this Kelsey Plum player card, and we can see that Kelsey Plum has gone under this number in 9 out of her last 10, 16 out of her last 20, and 11 out of 13 games this season. And then if you look at last season, she also went under in 34 out of 44 games last year, although it was with a different team, so a different role. So you really just have to take that with a grain of salt. So now I'll go back to this year's filter, and I'll filter for just away games so we can see how she's been playing on the road this season to see how the trend changes. So it goes to 6 of 7 for the year, which is still really strong, but if we go back to our last 10 games, it's still 8 out of 10, hitting at an 80% rate. And last 20 is 16 out of her last 20 away games, so it's an 80% rate. I don't have a set standard number that I go for. 80% is really good. It really just depends on the slate. Sometimes you'll find prop that are hitting at like a 95 to 100% rate, even with a different role and opportunity and stuff. And you'll take that every single time, but that'll be, one of the only ones you'll find. Sometimes you won't find something as strong. So the 80% here is a really solid number. I don't really have a set number that I stick to. It's more of just feel and just seeing, if there's a decent sample size of this prop hitting in the same role and opportunity many times. So now let's head over to a little bit more of a complicated example. So we'll go over to Rickea Jackson's prop. So after I search through a bunch of different props here, clicking left and right through the player cards, filtering all these different trends and stuff, I found this really good prop on Rickea Jackson over 17.5 points and rebounds. You can see it doesn't look strong on the main screen here. Only a 50% hit rate in the last 10. 3 out of the last 5, 55% out of the last 20, 44% of the year. If you're just going by that last 10, you're not going to find a play as strong as this Rickea Jackson. But let's click in here and see what we can find. So we know that Cameron Brink is out tonight based on going over the RotoWire. You see Cameron Brink is out. She's been out the entire season. She's going to be out for a bit with a major ACL injury. So we are going to filter for her because she is a really good player in the same position as Rickea Jackson, right? So then this goes to 4 out of the 9 games this year, which still doesn't look really good to us. 16 out of 25 last year, which is okay, but it's nothing to write home about. So what else did I see here that made me think that this is a good play? So I went down to her minutes, and I noticed, a couple of these losses here, she only played 23, 26, 12 minutes. But most of the games this season, she's been playing 30-plus minutes or so. 26-plus minutes is really the floor. So I'll filter for games where she played 26 or more minutes. So we'll go here. We'll change our filter. It goes to 4 out of 7 games this year. And it goes to 16 out of 20 games last year. All right. We also know that she's on the road. So we'll filter this for just away games. And then we can go to her last 20 games just because it's only going to be 14 games in the sample size. You can see here, if we're looking at games without Cameron Brink, because she's 100% out tonight, games where she's playing 26 or more minutes, I'd give it like an 85 to 90% chance that she's going to get 26 or more minutes tonight, barring any foul trouble or injuries. And then she's on the road, which is a 100% happening tonight as well. You can see this prop is hitting at a rate of 86%, 12 out of 14 games over the last 2 seasons. This is a very strong number, a decent sample size. We predicted the role. We predicted the opportunity. It's just a really good spot for this Rickea Jackson over 17.5 points and rebounds. This is something that you would not find just by looking at that major screen. So that's why it's important to go in and go one by one in each player. I usually start out looking at the last 20, then filtering for like away games, looking at this year, last year, and then I'll sometimes go deeper down into the minutes, try to find something common happening with the minutes. Definitely filtering the injury opportunities too. That's major when it comes to basketball, because when a star player is out or a starter is out, all that usage has to go somewhere. My most important tip, though, out of everything in this video, matchups do not matter. It's baked heavily into the line already. Role and opportunities matter way more because they're a lot more variable. If you can predict the roles and opportunities better than the sportsbooks can, this is your edge. You will have an edge on every bet you place in basketball, in football, I think in baseball sometimes, depending on the starting lineup, in pitcher matchups, in hockey, in soccer. You can find an edge by doing this in every single sport. And using the strategy in this video and the tools like Outlier, this is how you'll be able to find these edges. I hope I was able to teach you something in this video. Like I mentioned before, this is exactly what I do every single day to find bets that win 65% of the time in the WNBA. You can even use this same strategy to find the Green Goblin plays and good bets on alternate lines for you to be able to make your parlays as well. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and also remember to join our free Discord community. That link is located in the description below. Thank you for watching, everybody.